Yo, what is up, everybody, and welcome back to 365 Analytics. And today we are back with our first rankings video in a little bit, as today we are diving in to my 2024 NFL defensive position rankings. These are my defensive end slash outside linebacker rankings, interior D line, linebacker, safety, and then corner. So we're gonna get right into this and I'm gonna show you my top 10 for all of these positions. I will attach a photo of my full rankings, like top 25, top 20. I did like a different number for every single one. I think safeties are the only one I actually did top 10. That's it in that one. So yeah, let's dive right into these rankings and we're gonna start off with defensive end slash outside linebacker as this is my top 10 right here. As you can see, TJ Watt is the best defensive end slash outside linebacker in the league. If you ask me, Miles Garrett right there with him, Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa. In my opinion, those four have to be in your top four. If you ask me, the entire top six, there's a big gap between number six and number seven. Josh Allen is a really good player, but I don't think he's even on the level of Max Crosby. I think your top six on defensive end absolutely has to be TJ Watt, Miles Garrett, Michael Parsons, Nick Bosa, Trey Hendrickson, Max Crosby. No matter what order you put it, I think those six have to be in your top six. And those are the six best defensive ends in the league. There might be a little Bengals bias in me of putting Trey Hendrickson above Max Crosby, but that is just my opinion. I watch Trey Hendrickson every Sunday. I know what he does well. Max Crosby, obviously a dude too. That guy can play some football. He's a trash talker. He backs it up. Obviously a beast. Josh Allen's not a bad player by any means, but I think the top six are just ahead of everybody else. Khalil Mack at number 10 obviously had a very good season. Danielle Hunter at number 9 in Houston now. Aiden Hutchinson, very good defensive end. But yeah, TJ Watt, Miles Garrett. It's tough to put AFC North foes in the top two, but I think those are your top two defensive ends in the league, no matter how you put it. In my opinion, I'm taking TJ Watt. But yeah, defensive lineman. I have Chris Jones as number one. Does anyone disagree with that? I don't think there's a chance you should be disagreeing with it. In today's NFL, Aaron Donald is now retired. Aaron Donald was my number one last year, but obviously he is now retired. Chris Jones is the best interior defensive lineman, defensive tackle in the entire league, and I don't think it's really up for debate. He is miles ahead of everybody else. He's a beast. He can rush the passer. He can stop the run. He can play defensive end and interior D line. He's just a dog all around. I hate to say it as a Bengals fan, but it's true. Quinn Williams, number two, the Jets interior D lineman, obviously can do a lot. Dexter Lawrence, DeForest Buckner, all three very good. You can order those however you want. In my opinion, I think those three are two through four. Those three are some very good players. A lot of people have different opinions on who's better than who, but they all get paid a lot of money. They're all very good interior D linemen. Derek Brown, kind of a guy that falls under the radar, I think, at number five because he plays for the Carolina Panthers. But he is a very good interior D lineman. He can rush the passer, he can stop the run well. Cam Hayward, obviously been a beast for years, still got to be at number six. Christian Wilkins now in Vegas. Justin Madubuike, fresh off the extension. Jeff Simmons, very good. And Javon Hargrave has been consistent from Pittsburgh to Philly to San Francisco. So that is my top 10 interior D linemen. Chris Jones has to be your number one, two through four. That's your numbers. Derek Brown's very underrated. I like him a lot. I don't think enough people talk about Derek Brown, how good he actually is, but that is my number. That is my interior D lineman. Fred Warner at number one. Ball hawk, obviously. Off ball linebacker. He's the 49ers Mike linebacker. Obviously, a beast. Roquan Smith at number two. Those two are the top two in the league. I think Fred Warner's better, but Roquan is a very good player too. Matt Milano, kind of underrated because he was hurt a lot last year, dealt with some injuries. But number three linebacker in 2022, he did produce a lot, but he dealt with injuries last year. Demario Davis, Mr. Consistency for over years. Demario Davis has been playing for a long time, and he kind of hit his peak in New Orleans. He's above the age of 30 now, I believe, probably 31, 32. Still, he's like one of those like old school linebackers. He's like the last kind of linebacker that's like I don't know how to explain it. He's like an old school type of linebacker. Like he can play. He's like a football guy, to say the least. Uh, Patrick Queen now in Pittsburgh at number five. C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams. Quincy Williams is one of the most underrated players in the entire NFL. His 2023 season was absolutely insane. Had a very good year. Levante David, obviously, still up at the top of the list. Nick Bolton, I believe, also dealt with injuries last year, but he's number nine. And Foye Oluokun, Mr. Tackling Machine, has led the league in tackles a few times. I think he led the league in tackles 2021 and 2022, and maybe led the league in solo tackles this past year. But even from Atlanta to Jacksonville, he has led the league in tackles and been a tackling machine. I will attach a photo of linebacker right now on the screen. One, Jesse Bates had a crazy first year in Atlanta. I miss him as a Bengals fan. Really great guy, really great player. Um, Obviously had a Pro Bowl year. Antoine Winfield, very underrated. Again, a very underrated player in Tampa Bay, fresh off the extension. Minka Fitzpatrick, Kyle Hamilton rising the ranks. I think Kyle Hamilton will be a top two safety by the end of next year. In my eyes, because Kyle Hamilton's such a good player. He's tall. He's a beast. He's a beast. Derwin James. Derwin James is kind of a weird player because not many people talk about him anymore because like he's dealt with injuries over the years in the Chargers, and I think he might have like I don't know, but I feel like not enough people talk about him. Marcus Williams in Baltimore, Talanoa Hufanga kind of had a disappointing 2023, but his 2022 was very good. Javon Holland, Buda Baker, and Xavier McKinney now with the Green Bay Packers, formerly with the New York Giants. I will attach a photo of full safety rankings. And on to the last one of the defensive rankings. Number one corner in the league is Sauce Gardner. He doesn't even get targeted. He reminds me of Darrell Revis because they stay away from him purposely. Like Richard Sherman, they did. Darrell Revis, they did. Deion Sanders, they did. They do not throw his way because they know he is such a good player. They say he gets no targets. They say he's a PI merchant. They say all that. But Sauce Gardner, you cannot deny it. They do not throw his way because he is such a good player on the ball. Jalen Johnson, number two corner in the league, really good player. PS2, Patrick Surtain, he was my number one corner in the league last year, or at the end of last year, coming into this past year. But I still think he's number three. Still a very good player. Pretty much the only good player on the Denver Broncos roster, to be honest with you. Not the only good player. Garrett Bowles is pretty good. Mike McGlinchey's okay, but the only like really good player on the Broncos roster. Jair Alexander, L'Jarius Sneed, now traded to the Tennessee Titans. Trent McDuffie, really good corner. Trayvon Diggs dealt with injuries last year, but he can play some ball. Jalen Ramsey, Miss Jalen Ramsey can still play. He's like slowly went down my rankings over the years, but I think he's still the eighth best corner in the league. Can still play ball. J.C. Horn, very underrated. He's always hurt. It's the problem. He's always hurt, but he's very good. And Charvarius Ward at number 10, San Francisco's corner. And I will attach a photo of the corner for my full cornerback rankings on the board. And that is it. That is my full defensive rankings from defensive end to cornerback to five. I did these rankings last week. I am recording this on Monday, June 24th. I will be starting my offensive line, offensive rankings today. My offensive ranking video will be out next week. I've like been like doing them and then recording it, and I'm gonna probably record the offensive rankings next Monday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment down below if you agree. Um, but yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm gonna go edit this video, fire it up, and upload it immediately. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and offense next week. See y'all later.